we've got some Pac-12 Power Rankings. Last week was obviously a shit show in the conference. Sean, let's go ahead and start with your Pac-12 Power Rankings. A lot of movement this week.
A lot. There's a few things on here that could be interpreted as disrespectful, so I need to address. First off, Oregon being over Washington. I mean, maybe this is a tip of the hat to our friends over at Colorado, and they're just like, but I already see a mistake I made on this graphic. I suck. Every week, dog.
What was the mistake?
I have Colorado last week being 7 and also dropping 1. I don't know. Stupid. Anyways, Oregon. Bo Nix is going to win the Heisman, I think. I just think this offense is so dominant, and the fact that the defense was able to hold what I think is a respectable Colorado offense, a great quarterback in Shedeur Sanders, albeit without Travis Hunter. The fact that they were able to hold that offense to 6 points, I believe, right? Like, that's just impressive to me. I think Oregon is the best team in this conference. I want to see Washington play some of these really difficult teams before I give them that crown. Obviously, I dropped USC because of their lackluster performance against ASU. Wazoo, big movers. Obviously, beating a team that I've been very high on in Oregon State in a banger. I think it was 38-35 in the end. They're clearly a good team. They put up points on a good Oregon State defense. Oregon State, I dropped 1. Utah, I dropped 1 too. Listen, a 14-7 win over UCLA does not do anything for me. In fact, it kind of hurts you. Like, I'm not feeling good about Utah yet. I need to see them with Cam Rising and them beat real teams in like real fashion. Otherwise, I'm not feeling really good about it. Colorado down to 7. I believe they were 6 last week. I dropped them down 1 to 7. Travis Hunter, I think, is a big loss, and they're playing the team I think is the best in the conference, so I don't want to penalize them too much. UCLA, I leave at 8. I don't know. You can make whatever you want out of that 14-7 game. Cal, I put over Arizona, and this is where I think people can view this as disrespectful. Cal lost. Arizona, by a lot. Arizona won. But barely winning to Stanford is not much of a win. A. B, this is directly related to the fact that I don't know what's going on at quarterback. You're either going to have to play Noah Fafita, which I think is the right choice, but is their backup, or you stick with Jaden DeLora, who is just not good.
Which is the right choice for ASU fans.
Yes, which I think obviously he's the incumbent, so there's a chance of that happening. If that happens, Arizona is not going to win a lot of games. So there's that, but I'm not that big of a hater that I'm going to put them below Arizona State, because Arizona State, I do think is a good team, but they need to prove it to me before. They got to win a game before I start moving them around in my rankings. And then Stanford, you almost did the damn thing. And if you had done the damn thing, you wouldn't be in the spot. Arizona would be last in the conference, because if you lose to Stanford, you're last in the conference. But they couldn't pull through, so Stanford stays at the bottom.
They almost had it.
They almost
had it. Let's see what my Pac-12 Power Rankings look like. It's another, same as yours, a lot of movement. I do think Washington is the best team in this conference.
And I can't fight you too hard on that.
I think there's an argument for Bo Nix
100%.
and Oregon to be number 1. It's also, just want to say, Bo Nix is going to look absolutely horrible in a Las Vegas Raiders uniform at some point, because that is bound to happen. I don't know why. I just feel it. Bo Nix, you are a Las Vegas
He's going to look so good in it, too, is the problem.
I know. I don't want him to be in it.
He's going to look so good in it. The Raiders, everyone looks good in the Raiders uniform. It's like the best uniform in football.
I don't want him there at all.
Outside of yours, guys.
Yeah. Michael Penix in that offense at Washington is just an absolute juggernaut right now. They have an equivalent offense as USC, but they have a defense to go along with it. That's why they're number 1. I love Oregon. I think their win over Colorado solidified their spot as a top 3 team, and in this case, a top 2 team in this conference. I think Oregon, out of these 3 teams that I have at 1, 2, and 3, is really a sleeper to be in the CFP. But I think they are certainly a capable team.
I mean, I think we're on a collision course for. I think there's a chance that this conference could have 2 teams in the college football playoff.
It's going to be a tough sell.
It is going to be a tough sell because it's the Pac, but I don't think there's a lot of other teams around the country really being all that convincing in there. Like, Ohio State's not being, like, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But, I think whichever one of those teams ends up being undefeated, because I think one of them will be representing this.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think the Pac gets out of the CFP this year. I think you're definitely going to have one of those 3 teams. And I got USC at 3. Look, I know Caleb Williams and that offense did some things as they've done all season long, but that defense really looks abysmal.
That's a liability.
And their defensive coordinator should not last into next season. He needs to be fired immediately because he is not good at his job by any means. Utah At 4, I do have them moving up.
Well, hold on. Remember, USC is going. Well, maybe for that exact reason, actually, USC is going to the Big Ten next year. I'm interested to see how they recruit.
They need a DC. They need a DC for sure. Hey, Donnie Henderson's looking for a job. USC.
You said they needed a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, well, it couldn't be any worse than what they got right now. But yeah, Utah does move up a spot. I understand Sean's argument with that 14-7 win over UCLA not being great, but UCLA was a top 25 team at the time, and I can't fault Utah for winning that game without their starting quarterback. I think that's impressive, and it just goes to show what that Utah defense is capable of. And Kyle Whittingham continues to be one of the most underrated coaches in the nation. I really love what he's doing. Also love Wazoo. My goodness, they get to move up just because it should have been a wider margin in their win against Oregon State. I know it felt like there was maybe some garbage time comeback points from the Beavs.
Stop disrespecting. They lost by 3 points. There's no situation in which you only lose by 3 points and that ends up being garbage time points.
Neither here nor there.
It is right here.
Cam Ward is that guy. Cam Ward is that guy. Awesome to watch, and I'm really impressed at his growth so far this season. And I think they have a chance to really play spoiler, because I don't think there's a lot of people that have them as a top 4 team in this conference.
I agree.
And they have potential to really finish the season strong.
Realistically, it's not even a disrespect to Wazoo. You just look at how deep this conference is and how much love Colorado was getting. Like, they were the 6th, 7th team in this conference. And now we both have them top 5, and I don't think you can argue that they belong there.
No,
right?
Not even a little bit.
And I have them above Utah. I have them top 4.
Yeah.
And if this offense performs like that, there's no reason they can't beat a team like USC. So they could be top 3 in this conference. And then I mean, they are the surprise of this conference for sure.
Oregon State at 6, Colorado at 7. Colorado, I was going to drop them more, but then you look at the other teams below them and you can't really justify it. Although I think Colorado was sent back to earth after their otherworldly start to the season. I think they needed to get put in place, and they got their check with Bo Nix in Oregon and Dan Lanning. And I absolutely loved Dan Lanning's pregame speech.
It was hard.
It was amazing.
I'm at a point now where I think
the Cinderella story ends here, man.
If you're taking sides in this, you're just kind of a loser either way. Like,
I'm taking sides.
I know you are, but like everyone, like the people, like so many of the people, and I'm not putting you in this group, but so many of the people that are hating on Colorado are hating on them for the wrong reasons. And then there's so many people that are defending Colorado. Like, why do you care? Like, you're at grow up. It's fun. Whatever.
It's fun. It is fun. Arizona at 8. They almost lost to Stanford. That's embarrassing. UCLA is number 9 because of their loss to Utah. Arizona State at 10.
You put a team that lost to that.
What?
UCLA should be above Arizona. That's all.
That's all.
I mean, UCLA.
I can't fault Arizona for winning. They won. They won the game.
You can fault them for winning.
They won the game.
You could fault them for winning.
A win's a win. Is it not?
Not really.
It is.
Not really.
It is. There's no W with an asterisk.
No,
next
this isn't
to
the NFL. That's not how this
You're
works.
right. This isn't the NFL. These are Tochu's Pac-12 Power Rankings.
Yeah, but because if we were just, this would just be the standings. If a win's a win, that's not how this works. Like, that was a bad performance, and they don't know who their quarterback is going to be. Like,
and UCLA scored 7 points
against Utah, who you have the 4th team in the country, and they held that team to 14 points too.
Arizona State at 10. They move up a spot, even though they lost, just because of how well that offense looked against Caleb Williams and the USC defense. But the defense did look well against Caleb Williams and the Lincoln Riley offense. Yeah. I thought the defense played way better than I initially expected them to against Caleb Williams. Cal drops a spot because they got their ass beat by Washington. And Stanford, you're just there. You're the bottom of the tree.
But as AZ Wildcat fan is making in the chat, and it's not biased because it's coming from a Wildcat fan, that U of A was losing that game if JDL stayed in.
Yeah.
They were going to lose that game. And that's my concern and why I dropped them, because like I think that JDL is going to end up keeping that job at least for maybe another week, as long as he's healthy. I'm not really sure what his status is there, but I don't know. I don't feel good about that team, dog.